She stood in front of the cracked mirror, black eyeliner running like ink in water. Her once bright eyes were hollow now. She whispered to her reflection, voice barely audible. "Who am I?" This is the story of a girl who only wanted to look emo. Instead, she disappeared completely. Her name was Lila, 17 years old, straight-A student, the kind of girl who laughed too loudly in class and doodled flowers in the margins of her notebooks. She grew up in a quiet town where everyone knew everyone, but no one really saw her. She felt invisible, not in the dramatic way people post about online, in the quiet, suffocating way that eats you from the inside. Her parents worked double shifts. Her friends were drifting toward parties she wasn't invited to. The world moved fast, and Lila felt like she was watching it through frosted glass. Then, one rainy Thursday, she found it. The emo scene. It wasn't just music, it was armor. Black clothes, heavy makeup. What Lila didn't understand was that she wasn't just changing her style. She was handing over the keys to her identity. At first, it felt like freedom. Online forums welcomed her. Strangers called her beautiful. For once, she was seen. The more she posted, blurry selfies with captions like "lost in the shadows again," the more the validation poured in. Likes, comments, a tribe. But tribes have rules, and the emo scene of that era had sharper teeth than it showed on the surface. She stopped smiling in photos. Smiling was an aesthetic. She dyed her hair jet black until it looked like spilled oil. She listened to the same 4 albums on repeat until the lyrics replaced her own thoughts. Her grades slipped. Not all at once. Slowly, like sand falling through fingers. She told her best friend, "I finally feel real." Her best friend replied, "You look like a stranger." That's when the first crack appeared. Because the girl staring back in the mirror wasn't Lila anymore. She was someone else. Someone cooler. Someone deeper. Someone whose pain had value. And pain, once it has value, becomes currency. She started cutting. Not for attention. She hid it too well. Just enough to feel something sharp when everything else felt numb. The emo community had a complicated relationship with this. Some posts romanticized it. Others offered support that felt more like encouragement to stay broken. Lila fell into the second group. Her old friends drifted away. "You're too negative now," they said. The new ones online, they loved how negative she was. "You write such pretty pain," one message read. She wrote more, darker, deeper, until her journal entries sounded like song lyrics written by someone who had already died. Psychologists call this identity foreclosure, when a person adopts an external identity so completely that their original self gets buried alive. Lila didn't know that term. She just knew that when she took the makeup off, she felt terrified, because the girl underneath was fading. And the girl in the black was becoming everything. Then came the boy who called himself Raven. He was older, 19, deep into the scene. He spoke like a poet who had read too much Nietzsche and listened to too much Thursday. He told Lila she was special, that the world didn't deserve her darkness, that she should run away with him to the city where real emos lived. Her parents found the messages. They grounded her, took her phone. For 3 weeks, Lila was locked in her old life. She screamed, she cried, she punched holes in her walls. But something strange happened in that forced silence. For a few brief moments, she remembered who she used to be. The girl who liked sunflowers. The girl who wanted to study marine biology. The girl who once laughed until her stomach hurt. Then Raven sent a letter. Handwritten, black ink on blood-red paper, and the fragile self she had glimpsed disappeared again like smoke. She ran, 17 years old, no money, no plan, just the clothes on her back and the belief that somewhere out there she would finally be understood. The city swallowed her whole. She found the underground shows, the warehouse parties where kids dressed like beautiful corpses danced to music that sounded like the end of the world. She met people who had been in the scene for years. Some looked empty. Their eyes didn't move right anymore. One girl, older, pulled Lila aside after a show. "You still have light in you," she whispered. "Get out while you can." She changed her name online to Lila Void. She stopped going by her real name even in her own head. Her body changed. She stopped eating properly. The heroin chic look was praised in certain circles. Her skin grew pale. Her eyes sunk deeper. She looked exactly like the girl she had wanted to become. And she felt nothing. Not sadness, not joy. Just this vast, echoing emptiness where Lila used to live. Her parents searched for months, posted flyers, begged on local news. They barely recognized the girl in the missing person photo anymore. This is where the story gets darker. Because Lila didn't just lose herself. She began hunting for more extreme versions of the aesthetic. Body modification, heavy piercings, tattoos that covered scars. She chased the feeling of transformation because being Lila had become unbearable. One night, after a particularly brutal fight with her new family, she took more than she ever had before. Not just to feel, to disappear. When she woke up in the hospital, her mother was crying beside her bed. The doctor said she was lucky. Lila looked at her mother and said in a voice that didn't sound like hers anymore, "I died a long time ago. You just haven't accepted it yet." She ran again. This time, no one could find her. Years passed. Some say she still drifts through underground scenes in different cities, always in black, always silent, always watching. Others say she got out, that she found her way back somehow, that the girl who wanted to look emo eventually looked in the mirror one day and chose to live. But the truth is more haunting. We all contain multiple versions of ourselves. The versions we show the world, the versions we hide, the versions we become when we're scared of who we really are. Lila didn't lose herself because she wore black clothes and heavy makeup. She lost herself because she believed the mask was safer than her own face. The most terrifying part? This isn't just Lila's story. It's the story of anyone who has ever tried to become someone else to escape the pain of being themselves. The girl who wanted to look emo didn't just change her appearance. She performed a ritual of self-erasure. And the void answered. So the next time you feel invisible, the next time the world feels too loud and you feel too quiet, remember Lila. Because wanting to disappear is easy. Coming back, that's the real rebellion. What version of yourself are you becoming right now? And how much of the real you are you willing to lose?